The whole purpose of coaching is client growth.
Hi, I'm Ruth Kudzi and I'm passionate about helping people live the life that they want to live on their terms. I talk about coaching, positive psychology, neuroscience, and business growth because if you want to live a fulfilling life, then you want to be going from a 0 to a +5 in positive psychology rather than focusing on bringing you up to a 0.
The whole purpose of coaching is supporting your client to decide what they're going to do next. And sometimes people get obsessed with this and they think that great coaching is about giving your client like a shopping list of all of the actions that they need to take. Every coaching session, if it's purposeful, will have some insight, some learning, some do differently. And this part of the coaching, which is called the client growth part in the ICF competencies, competency 8, is really where your client makes a decision about what they're going to do. The coaching conversation is there to give clarity, evoke awareness, and help your client see things differently. Help your client decide what they're going to do. And then it's about, okay, so where do they go next? Where do they take that learning? So if I recognize, for example, that when I'm under stress, I can be really direct and directive with my team, what do I want to do with that? Well, maybe I want to think about how I am dealing with stress in those situations. Maybe I want to think about ways that I can have more of a coaching approach rather than a directive approach. Maybe I want to think about who on my team could support me. So there are lots of different actions that could come from that learning and that insight. And that is about the client to decide. So again, we're believing that the client has the answers and they can decide what they're going to do. So the reflection really is about what have they learned about the situation. So through talking, through clarity, through questioning, through evoking awareness, they will have got more understanding of the situation that they're in. So what is that learning? And then what are they going to do with that learning? How are they going to take things forward? And then what have they learned about themselves? And what does that mean? And with that learning, what are they going to do? So for me, the learning is at the heart of the growth. When somebody understands something different about a situation or themselves as a result of the coaching, that's a great insight. And then what will you do with that? What is the next step? What is the next action? And this is when some people can get some coaches can get really kind of drilling down on like, well, when are you going to do it? When exactly? And that might work for some clients, but this is really about knowing your client. So if a client says, well, I'm going to do X, we might want to assess their level of motivation. We might ask them, like, how confident are you that you're going to do this? And if a client says, look, I'm a 10 out of 10, I know when I say I'm going to do things, I do them, I think that is a great place to stop. Now, if a client said that to you and then in future sessions they hadn't taken action, that might be an area that you want to interrogate with them, that you want to make sure that you are ensuring that they are going to make progress. But I do sometimes think that people can get really stuck in there, well, when exactly, what time? And yes, that might work for some people, but I don't believe it works for everybody. You know, I'm a person that says, when I'm going to do it and make that commitment to myself, that commitment's made. I don't need to go into that detail. That detail will be for after. That detail will be for reflection. That detail will be for me looking in my diary and seeing, well, when can I do this? How can I make this work? But what you want to leave your clients with is a clear next step. So they are taking whatever's happened. Now, it might be that they say, I'm going to reflect on this. And what I want to do from the reflection is I want to think about what that's going to look like for me. And then I'm going to make a plan. Great. What resources do you need to help you? Or who can help you? What will help you stay on track? Giving people those more bigger open questions can be better than asking people questions that can close down their thinking and put them into threat mode. So one of the questions that people love is what could stop you, or what barriers are there? But if I talk about what could stop you, you're starting to think that something's going to stop you, and that can put you into threat mode and give you an amygdala response, which means that actually your thinking is closed down. So you might want to do those more positive effect pleasure. How will you celebrate? What's going to support you to get here? How do you need to be successful? What would you like to do when you achieve this? Like, those are helping open up thinking because they're looking at the reward center and the dopamine in the brain rather than going, well, what could stop you? What are the barriers? What are the obstacles? And then you're like, oh my gosh, well, I didn't even think there were any, but now I've thought of all of these different things. So I believe that if we are to have effective coaching sessions, we need to make sure that the growth part, the next steps, what our client's going to do to integrate are client focused, and that they're helping them to really understand where they want to be and what they're going to do. And it might be one thing, and it doesn't need to be a particular action. It might be a reflection. It might be that they're going to be more mindful of something. And I don't believe that we need to make this into a SMART goal. I believe that we need to work with our clients to help them put this into a language that works for them. Make sure that it means something to them and help ensure that they are motivated and committed. And we can do that by asking them the question, how motivated are you? How committed are you? How confident are you that this will happen? And we can also do that through listening, okay? Looking at that congruence between what they say and what they say they're going to do. Looking at their body language, listening to their tonality, all of those different clues. We can reflect back. You look really energized by this. What's going on? Well, I'm really excited. I can't wait to get started. That insight has really helped motivate me. So again, put your client at the center. It's about their growth, not about you measuring how great you are as a coach. The learning is their learning. It's not your learning. The action is their action, not your action. And your role is to support your client. Your role as a coach is to support your client to get some insight which will allow them to see things differently and to create a new neural pathway in their brain, which they need to do through repetition and focus. They decide what they repeat. They decide where they focus. We support them to enable them to take that action. And it's so amazing. This is why coaching is transformational, because when you are able to support people to decide on something that they're going to do differently, and you can hear that motivation and focus, then you're on to a winner. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd like you to like and subscribe. And remember to keep abreast of all of our new videos. Just ring that bell and you'll be notified when any new ones come out. And we'd love to hear feedback from you. So if you'd like to post beneath your biggest takeaway, and equally anything that you'd like to hear me talk about, we're always open to feedback.